Ladies and gentlemen, what it is, what it ain't. I have to. We don't have the monitor in front of us today because we're in the studio.
Actually utilizing it like we should be.
Well, it's been a thing.
It has.
Stuff's been in boxes and containers and shit, so it's one of those situations. But how y'all is, how y'all ain't. Let me switch this because I have all the computer stuff optimal. You're definitely gonna have to use the thing to be able to read the comments because I'm gonna have to keep looking off to the left,
That's fine.
which I would rather have the. I'll probably end up moving for the Wednesdays, moving the monitor there, the way I can actually see it, or get a big screen TV. So,
Let's see.
did you miss us?
There's Keith, Donna Romaine, Lisa Snyder, Jenny Tubb. What's going on, y'all?
Hey Keith, what's up? Do you miss us yet?
They're probably like, you fucking assholes have not followed through with dick all of what you said you were gonna do.
Which part? When we followed through.
I don't know. There's always something that we haven't done yet.
Welcome home. Yeah, it's for the first couple of days. It was weird. Like all I did was sleep. I think that's all you did too, wasn't it?
Mm-mm.
You didn't sleep,
No, sir.
so it's back to business as usual. Gotcha.
I had a week. It was cool. I had a week. Actually, yeah, that first day I did. So that Thursday, and after that, it's just been all right. Let's go. Let's get it.
Here, hold that. It's a microphone.
Hello, microphone.
If we're gonna do the other thing, I still haven't uploaded them yet. I don't think.
Nice.
Yeah. That's the wrong plug. These guys are so unprepared. Yes. I uploaded them. I did a backup of my phone to get the evidence from the Stevenson building and the videos that I wanted to do tonight to kind of everybody discuss and to go through are in a different file holder. So as we're sitting here,
As we're talking, we're going to be uploading these fucking videos.
work under pressure, right?
Jesus Christ. The good thing is that we have it on somewhat good authority that this current space that we're using may not be the space we're using here in several months. So, here's looking forward to that.
Then I can have it set up to how I want to set it up
And it could stay set the fuck up.
instead of me having to tear it down every time I need to use this. I mean, we're utilizing this. We're basically using letting taste the words. We're utilizing a bedroom space is what we're utilizing right now as the studio space.
Hi, Kylie. How are you?
Kylie.
Maze.
Oh, cool.
Hey, Jenny. He can't stand not seeing the comments. It drives him fucking batshit.
It ain't popped up over here for me yet. That's the issue.
Let's see. Jenny is still requesting the Pizza Hut alien. Hey, Randy, what's up? Linda Slavin is asking if it's a new room background with a new logo.
It is a new logo. This is the new logo. I have it. I mean, let me show you guys right quick. We're utilizing the studio space, right? And go in, go here, do this, go here. Wrong thing. Go to this thing. Go to that thing. And then turn that off. Y'all see the green screen? Yep. So we're actually green screening the new logo on.
The new logo. Um, let's see. What's topic tonight? We've got a couple of TikToks that he found that he thinks would be interesting for y'all that we're gonna kind of look at and get some discussion going. Nebraska Air made both your guys' hair and beards grow, Annette. No,
That's just
that
natural selection.
that's just genetics. That's just genetics. Uh, let's see. Kylie says, "I live in Nebraska. Wish I could have met you. Keith is great people. We were there for a week. Where the fuck were you?
I,
All you had to do was say something. I'm kidding. Seriously. Besides that, it's not like we won't be back there, but it'll be about another year unless something goes down. And if something goes down and we have to show up at Keith's place just to be there, I'm gonna stick a foot in Keith's ass. So
why? What did Heath do?
if we have to show up there,
Oh, right. Oh, that means we have to work.
yes. Uh, Mary Brooks says, "Hey guys."
Hey, what's going on?
Let's see. Randy says, "Evening, boys."
Most of the stuff I've seen for Kylie, most of the stuff I've found on TikTok, it's awful. Let's just be realistic. It's people making up shit. There's some things that I found that were actually interesting.
Like I don't put much stock. A lot of people, and I'll get back to the comments here in just a second. A lot of people get to that whole thing of, well, here's this filter. Notice that word. Here's this filter that finds random shit in the room and does all this other thing, and I'm like, eh. To me, I put about as much stock in that as I do orbs.
I did find one that was like that. There was other stuff that was going on in the background, but because it was using that filter, I didn't put it in with the rest of them.
It's really difficult for me to put any stock in that because that can be manipulated. Keith says I still got to get things gone over from the Stevenson or going. I think is what he meant. It's been a week. Uh, Very cool logo from Randy.
Sweet, thank you.
Everybody's yep, nice, awesome to that. To the green screen bit, logo looks great, legitness, and then we're down to where you were with Kylie. TikTok is big cringe. Kylie says, "Yeah,
We agree.
yeah." Keith says he's good. Annette says his TikTok videos are questionable.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's kind of the reason why I'm wanting to look over them.
Kylie says orbs. You mean dust bunnies? Absolutely.
Yeah. There was some of the stuff that when we were doing the Stevenson building, I'm flat out calling out this is dust because it was so that we were in the basement doing doing an investigation in the basement. Now we found some inconclusive EVP in there, but I've got to go through and actually increase the volume on it because I can't. He can hear it. I can barely hear it.
And all I hear is mumble. So I know there's something there, but it's completely unarticulated. You can't fucking understand what the hell they're saying.
Okay, there we go. I think I found what I was looking
Uh,
for.
Mary Brooks says, "Yeah, TikTok is awful." Uh, Michigan Teresa, "Hey, what's going on, chick?" And we are caught up, as far as what I've got. We'll be periodically checking your all's comments, so keep them coming. I'll try my best to check them every couple minutes or so. That way the phone's not constantly in my face. That is the one benefit of doing this in the living room as opposed to the studio space is we can read the comments over the bigger monitor.
Oh, copy.
Because truthfully, what we need is the current setup that we have with a bigger monitor.
Yeah.
Also, but there's a problem. Money. So.
Well, we have the money. We just don't want to spend the money. That's the big issue. We have a bunch of stuff that we got to do
I was about to
between
say,
here and there.
we got bills.
Yeah, we got bills we got to pay.
We got bills. We've got events. We got a trip to Ohio this weekend. We got a trip to Alabama in a month. Yeah.
Yeah. No, switch this to this. Go to this.
But thank you guys for checking things out, checking out the logo. We know at least those of you that are OCD like me know that they're a little bit off size. That's cool. We're gonna work on that, get that worked out. But as you can see, we are quote unquote rebranding, so we're updating our shit. So everything from business cards to social media is, even the web page is getting a makeover. So we're upping the game.
I'm trying to anyway. Absolutely.
So while Brian's getting his stuff worked out, just as a little bit of a slice of life thing before we get into the paranormal wusses, I've gone to 2 chiropractor appointments in the last week for the first time in my life, and apparently my head was sitting off my fucking spine. That was cool to find out and feel, because yeah, that was a thing. First visit, pow, and it was just a pop, and all the blood started rushing to my head, and I got dizzy and went into a fucking migraine because the proper nerve flow had not been there in so long. I'm like, oh, because he took the X-rays and was like, all right, man, I know exactly what to do for you, and has focused on my neck alone. So we're actually getting a little better with some stuff. The cool thing is that if I get proper nerve flow back to my mid back, my neck area, it could actually help with my eyes and my diabetes, because my pancreas and my eyes will get the proper fucking nerves firing. So it'll ease the glaucoma and ease the beatus, as well as, make it so I can fucking function like I'm not, twice my age.
Actually, having the proper blood flow to your brain will help with the other stuff too, and the mental health things. And
I'm going fucking bad shit regardless of that.
Well, I mean, the fuck? Oh, it's your phone.
Yeah, it's my phone. Oh. Twitter. Let's see.
Okay, I got everything ready to go as far as the videos.
Okay, I'm gonna catch us up on comments real quick.
Do things, man. Do things.
Then we'll get after it. Kylie asks, if you believe in spirits, do you believe in angels? Of course.
Well, yeah.
One is the same as the other.
Only the difference is vibration. That's it.
That's literally it. Annette says angel spirits? Exactly. Angel spirits. Marie Brooks asks, where are you guys located again? Lexington area, Kentucky.
Yep. For now.
I met you guys at the Mystical Market earlier this month, and you guys are great. That's really nice of you. That really is. We appreciate that. And we're stable there. We're gonna be there as often as we can, and pretty much every month.
It just, the only thing, like, we're about to, this is something that we're about to start cases up here soon. So
I mean, technically they've already started rolling in, but the big load hasn't hit
just yet, but it's about to.
Yeah, that's gonna start hitting home in August.
Yeah, it's about to hit hard, hot, and heavy here soon. So there might be some of our Wednesday night lives that we do during the week from our phones on the road.
And as far as the weekends with Steve, where I do the forecast, the reason at this point why I haven't been able to, every weekend has been filled.
Yeah.
I have not had a free weekend to really do that. So what I'm gonna do is probably switch those to Friday, and do those either mid morning or mid afternoon. So it'll most likely be a recap episode for a lot of you, like a replay episode for a lot of you. But unfortunately, that's where I'm gonna have my time.
Except for this Friday, we promised. We promised those who are Patreon supporters that we would do the evidence reveal from the Stevenson building with them before we make it public. Because I'm at the moment going through and I'm starting the process of actually looking through things that I want to, because there's hours of footage, and most of the pictures we didn't catch anything on the pictures. So mostly what we're doing right now is trying to catch EVPs. If there was something that was there that's not supposed to be, there's a few that I've noticed in the footage that I have. There's some other stuff that Keith may have, and I'm going to be trying to get in the Google Drive to him to share that with us. That way we can kind of cross, and I'll share our shit with him.
So August's Patreon is going to be a collaboration with Spirit Mechanics, both Eastern and Midwest factions, and we're gonna basically team up with Keith and Teresa and go through what it is that we found, or at least we think would be something.
Because right now, I know how to do the thing. It's just more of the different format where Patreon is a different platform, because you can do live through Patreon. So this month there might be some stuff that we do that's some of our evidence, but next month is definitely going to be we're going to try. I'm not going to say definite. If depending on his schedule and what he wants to do, we try to collab and Skype him in.
Because we'll do that on our free weekend.
Yeah, because we have
one free weekend.
Yeah, because Friday we're definitely going to be doing this episode one way or the other. Even if I have to make it through our Discord and just sit down with y'all and do it that way. That might be easier, just to have that, being able to have that connection and be able to talk and ask questions and do the thing. Call it a sup-episode. But as far as like the actual big one we're wanting to do, there's a little bit more I've got to do as far as like getting with Keith's schedule, go through and pick out. There's some cherry picking, because I don't think anybody wants to sit through 6 hours of listening to recordings and watching video and all that. So I try to make it a little bit more fun, as opposed to it's a slog to have to sit through and watch a camera just stare at a space.
That's the big reason why when we did the live streams, they were short burst. They weren't prolonged. Truthfully, we needed to spend a little bit more time in there. We were finally starting to get voice phenomenon, like audible voices, different moving shadows, different things were starting to pop. However, we didn't have enough time at the time to take the time we needed to. So next time we go back, that'll be a thing. Especially now that we know that place loves trigger objects.
Yeah, that's one of the big things from that location. Most of the other ones, I mean, as far as the other locations we've been to, no trigger objects haven't been a thing, like the Raws.
No.
Trigger. I mean, there was a little bit, and I doubt we'll ever get that footage, but
You're right. I don't see that happening. Like, seriously, I don't see that happening.
When you start watching on Patreon, the actual watching on Patreon will be next month. this month's episode, who are Patreon subscribers only, are going to be in our Discord for this month because it's just easier for us to be able to go click, click, boom, we're there. And if there's stuff, because tomorrow is going to be my main day that I'm going to actually start sifting through what I have. I'm going to re-download the episode that we did because that one's live. It's still up. I've not taken it down what we did in the Stevenson building. So if you all wanted to go through and watch it and screen cap what you see, or write a timestamp down to let me know, that way I don't have to watch an hour. It's about an hour of footage. If you want to do that, that's cool. But I'm still going to watch it.
Let's see. Linda Slavin asks if we're still doing mentoring and tutoring. Absolutely. That's never changed. And it won't. That will never be a thing. Us dropping that. All you have to do is ask the question and let us know. If you want an actual tutoring session, get with Missy. If you want a mentor, notice how I put that word, mentor, then you need to contact us through spiritmechanics.com and specify who you would like. We do have the current core team. We have bios up for them, and you can talk to who you want to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Hi from New Mexico, Lisa Dean.
Awesome. Yeah, I've worked with Miss Lisa. She's pretty cool people.
Nice.
Randy, does it mean new t-shirts? Absolutely, eventually, when that goes down. We do have the designs worked out for black and white t-shirts with the new logo. Those images have been worked out. It's just a matter of switching out certain things in the store. And
right now we're doing research. Tiff who's our CFO actually. She's going through and getting samples from different companies rather than us going through Teespring, because
Teespring, if we're being honest, let's just call it what it is. We want to give you guys something better for your buck. And we've noticed that people's the logos have been skewed, or the images have been turned weird or off center.
Or I got a Boo Buddy shirt. I got one of the first Boo Buddy shirts, and that mofo don't fit me, and I ordered an extra large.
So he ordered a size bigger than what he typically wears.
Yeah, I wear a large. I ordered an extra large, and it still comes up to my stomach like I'm wearing a belly shirt, and it flares out like it's a dress. It's the weirdest crap.
So it's not great. Tiff does have one in mind, though, for a couple of shirts. She's ordered some samples, and they look really good.
Yeah.
They're good quality. They're decent. They have been washed. And
yeah, they're pre-washed.
Yep. So you don't have to worry about them shrinking or anything like that once you get them. Unless you're one of those people that washes all your clothes on hot and then runs your dryer on hot, which you shouldn't do. You shouldn't do that anyway.
Yeah, that's what I
did with my Yeah. You're not supposed to do that.
No, I didn't do it.
Let's see. He's the beats from Kylie Mays.
I'm ahead of you a little bit. Already joined Patreon. Randy says she wants to. I've got to get the Patreon link again. I need to log back in on my computer because it logged me out. So, give me. I'll post. Make a post tomorrow. For those who want to be on Patreon and want to do that and want to help support us that way. And it's going to be a lot of stuff that's as far as like on the Patreon itself. It's going to be like he was talking about earlier. It's going to be a lot of subisodes or going through like our case stuff, not cases, but you know our investigation, our walks, things like that.
You guys will get what Facebook does not. Let's just call it what it is. So,
because if I catch an actual awesome ass fucking picture, it's going to go on the Facebook.
Well, yeah.
But if I'm going to do EVPs, I'm not going to do an entire string of EVP videos on Facebook.
No.
So that's Those are for Patreon people. So
if you want to be a part of our investigations, especially those who can't be close to do anything like that with us, that's the place to be. If you want to see and do things that we would typically do on a live stream but can't get away with on Facebook, that's where you need to be. Um,
there's going to be a lot more music because I don't have to worry about copyright strikes
on Patreon.
On Patreon. It's not being live broadcasted across the freaking globe. So there's going to be a lot more music and things like that because we like music.
Let's see. Linda Slavin says, "Love that cracking noise." Talking about my spine being aligned. Try an acupuncture. Let's see. First treatment after 3 hours. Walked in on a cane. Walked out carrying it over my shoulder. Very good. Very good. My baroni has a first name. It's Donna.
She's going to murder us.
My baroni has a second name.
We're all going to
die. Well, that's what she gets for saying that it's pronounced baroni.
Well, it's...
My head goes to Oscar Mayer. I'm sorry. I'm fat. We love you too, and that's the reason why we give you shit, Donna. Seriously.
We're not poking. We're poking, but we're not poking.
If we didn't love you, we wouldn't give you the hell that we give you. Hey, Steve Tyree, what's up?
As far as being along with us on cases, we don't take quote-unquote civilians.
This is a question asked by Mary Brooks.
Yeah, we don't take people with us on those because there's a lot more liability. We would do, and if we were to do an investigation, there may be an opportunity coming up that people might be able to get to go with us. There's some ideas in the works. I'll just put it that way. Nothing that's in concrete. Nothing that is stuck to a wall with a date.
The biggest reason isn't really planning at this point. It's just having a solid date. Plus, there's some other cool things that I've got on the side that are going to involve the community in a very, very big way. So you guys are probably next year going to be able to do a lot more with this than you really think you could. So hoping that works out that way. Let's see. Keith says he's got to jump. We'll see in a minute, Keith. What's up, Robin? Mr. Tyree. Speaking of Mr. Tyree is our newest trainee.
Mm-hmm.
So he is a spirit mechanic trainee, and that's pretty cool, I think. He's shown exceptional work. He's done the work, and he continues to do the work. And asked if he could do. Hell yes, man. Yeah, we're glad to have you. We're gonna be putting him to work. Actually, he is supposed to be in Cincy, and he's also supposed to be at the next market. So when he shows the fuck up, he's gonna be working. Hint, hint. Not so subtle hint, Steve. Robin asking about Patreon.
And that also asking about Patreon. How often you do it's a monthly thing. It's $5 a month, and it just helps us get to clients mostly, and help us pay the bills, because there are a few things that we got to pay. We do sponsors. We do sponsor Scarefest TV. That is one of the things that we do pay out. There's some other equipment that we're probably going to be needing here soon in the next 3 or 4 months. Like our own voice recorders. I want to experiment with not so much the stick figure part of the SLS, but it's pretty much a cheap IR camera, because you can go to a pawn shop and find a Kinect, and you can get the program, put it on a laptop, and do the thing with it. But I like that thought of having a cheap IR without having to buy a FLIR for $600, or a decent one for $600.
Eventually, that is the goal.
Yeah.
Let's see. Kylie Mays. So I went into a store not knowing prior to entering that it was a metaphysical-ish type of shop. When I went in, okay, my cadence is shit. Uh, they had loads of crystals, stones, and gems, and other witchcraft-related stuff like incense and dream catchers, mini cauldrons, etc. But instantly it made my chest so heavy
Mm.
and harder to breathe. I started to feel sick immediately and lightheaded and dizzy. I felt nauseous and paranoid. I wanted to look I wanted to look at the pretty crystals, but felt like I couldn't stand in one spot or I would pass out. I asked the worker, and she said she said she's tried to cleanse the area a lot, or tries to cleanse the area a lot. When I left, it felt so weird to drive, and I felt paranoid. It was not a panic attack, just something else weird. Can you explain? The effect slowly faded away when I left, but it took a while. Overload.
Mm-hmm.
If we're just calling it what it is, it's overload. Um, Properly grounding and then shielding is very important, regardless of what metaphysical shop you go into. And the biggest reason why is if the people that work there are legitimate practitioners, they all have their own things set up. Whether it's protections, whether it's good vibe things, whether it's specific things that they want for the shop, they have everything that they need for themselves, for their patrons set up
Mm-hmm.
spiritually. If you're not accustomed to that kind of energy, it can slam you very harshly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much what went down. Plus, you have to think, even if you cleanse a place like that on a very regular basis, you still have every Tom, Dick, and Harry that knows about that place running in and out of it at any given time it's open.
Mm-hmm.
And every little thing is touched. Every little thing is moved. Every little thing is, you know, used or messed with in some way. And because of that, it automatically offsets everything that they have put in place. So until everything gets back to its own working normal, there is a slight distortion. And it can cause headaches. It can cause nausea. It's pretty much like, kind of like getting on a tilt-a-whirl.
Mm-hmm.
Everything just spins and everything is just forceful for a little bit. It's the reason why it faded away the further away you got.
I've had that same experience. I used to, when I first went into a shop in Carlisle, Kentucky, my first time going in there, well before I was accustomed to what I do now, I had the same experience hit me. And it took a little bit to finally adjust, for me to adjust to the space, because the person who is running the space, things are in a certain way.
If you guys ever come and visit us, it'll be the same. Anybody that's actually worked with me over the phone or has come to our booth, everything's in line. We've got everything set up.
Mm-hmm.
We offset what we do and the way that we feel with a grid. Some people do that, not a lot of people do. So that's the other thing to think about. And certain stones don't mesh. So if you roll into a metaphysics shop and they've got a bunch of stones, everybody's got the bins or the racks or the baskets or whatever, and they're all like right there next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have stones that are going to go, I don't like that one. I don't like the way they look. They're xenophobes. They don't like change either. So when you when you have that go on, someone kind of rustles the basket, gets a little bit too close to another one that it doesn't care for. It causes this ear piercing fucking screech, and then after that, everything shakes spiritually. It's called reverberation. And it makes everything clench like a fist and then all of a sudden release. And that's the reason for the headache. When everything clenches, everything gets tight because the fight or flight hits.
Mm-hmm.
And then when everything releases, that's the reason for the nausea and the dizziness because all that tension's let go.
And yeah, Kylie, the worker said I'm probably just sensitive. Yeah,
Yes.
that's exactly what it is. You're sensitive.
Let's see. Linda says, I have a quick recording of an entity forming a body leaning against my house. Was weird to watch it form and just hang out.
If you get the video, email it to us. All right.
Yes.
I'd love to look at it.
Send it to us.
Info@spiritmechanics.com. Put the attachment in. Did a recreation of a water bottle being tossed off the end of a table into the. Okay.
All right. I think that caught us up.
Okay, guys.
On to random video TikTok. What's this?
So, now how am I going to do this?
I don't know. You're the one in control of things.
Let me make sure.
You know what's good? Nicotine.
Shit, I didn't record this. Damn it. I forgot to record it. I'll just have to download it. That's the awesome thing about being in the creator studio. I can actually just download the live streams. Alright, so this first one, I haven't got no setup for it. I had to figure out how to do the damn thing while we're doing it. And transition.
What the? Jerry! Jerry! What in the world? Is he finally doing the fucking laundry? I'll be fucking flabbergasted. What the? I didn't even know this fucking shower worked! Jerry! You're flooding the whole goddamn basement, bitch! Now stop fucking around and do the fucking laundry! Please and thank you. Alright, you do the laundry and Bitch!
It's coming through.
Okay. Transition out. Cool. I don't know why. Give me just a second. So what did y'all think of that? I thought it was kind of funny. It was the one where there's this spirit, quote unquote spirit, that keeps turning on the shower, and she keeps telling it to do the damn laundry.
That's kind of where I'm at. Like, fuck, if you're gonna do that, least you could do is help out around this damn house.
Right. Let me switch something real quick. I'm gonna try, and there we go. That's what I was wanting. Sorry,
Jerry!
But,
Jerry!
What
in the world? Is he finally doing the fucking laundry? I'll be fucking flabbergasted. What the? I didn't even know this fucking shower worked! Jerry! You're flooding the whole goddamn basement, bitch! Now stop fucking around and do the fucking laundry! Please and thank you. Alright, you do the laundry and Bitch!
There. Sorry, I had to fix it real quick. What do y'all? What do you all think of that one? Oh yeah, absolutely. These are most of these are going to be bullshit. Let's just be realistic. It's TikTok, but I thought it was kind of hilarious. That's the reason why I put this particular one in it, because I thought this was absolutely hilarious. Because it's like, I could hear Steve, why don't you do my fucking laundry?
You're pegging it, dude.
Am I that loud? No, I'm good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm gonna turn it towards you just a little bit though. Now that I have it set, I can do the thing from here.
Damn it. Renee. Hey, Renee. She just popped in.
What did I walk in on? We're watching random crap, just to be honest with you.
He's found TikTok, and because he's found TikTok, he's found TikToks that he wants to share.
Oh yeah, the one I did the other day, the spiritual, spiritual. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? But it's this is a particular thing, like haunted, quote unquote, haunted TikTok. So let me see if I can. Shoot. All right, transition it over. I don't know why I can't switch it. Oh, there we go. That's why I can switch it. Hey, Uncle Tommy, how are you doing, sir?
What's going on, man?
We love you. We really do.
Swear to God, we've been trying to figure out a time to come and see you, actually. Which may also be that weekend in August.
Yeah.
If you have to, or sometime during the week, man. If you've got, you let us know when you're free.
Yeah. We'll figure out a way to be able to get towards you, all right? So I want to see you. I want to give you a big ass hug.
We've been missing you, man. Seriously. Play a little get fiddle.
Yes, sir.
It's our Uncle Tommy, ladies and gents, Tommy Winters. He's one of our favorite people.
Switch it over.
It's amazing what our eyes can miss when we're distracted by things. This guy was playing a virtual reality game and he was being watched the whole time and didn't realize. I'm gonna roll the clip right now.
What do y'all think of that one? That one I thought was a little bit more interesting than the other two. The other two were more funny, silly shit. Whereas that one particularly, it could very well be an effect, like a special effect. But that one seemed a little bit interesting to me. Yeah, it's different. Some of these are stupid, and that's the point. That was me more making people wanting to make people laugh, as opposed to, being serious. That one was a little bit different, just because I think it could be a special effect. I'm pretty sure it was a special effect, if not a practical effect. But it was just something that was interesting. Let's see. I think. Okay. So, you come on. We're good.
I'm waiting on her.
Oh, okay. So, transition over to this one. Not anymore. We're back. That one's a little bit more interesting too, because the again the stair step stomp and the door slam. The door slam could be explained. There's somebody behind the freaking door, but like the motherfucker, it's like it was running up the fucking stairs, and there's nobody there to run up the stairs. It was something that was interesting. It was something that was different. Yeah. I don't remember what this one is. A lot of these I just don't remember because I've saved several. Hopefully, it's not one of the ones that I think is hilarious and it's not have anything to do with paranormal. But
I literally hate you, bitch. How the fuck do you expect to make money, Julie, if you don't like to work?
nope, that was one of the funny ones. My bad. Let's see here. Oh yeah, this one. Actually, she's barking.
Oh.
I'm gonna play this one when you get back. I'm actually gonna make it bigger to where you can see it.
Okay.
But it's that fight or flight response. Mostly to answer your question, Kylie. A lot of it's definitely the fight or flight response. Especially when you don't know that a thing is there and you have no way to protect yourself of that thing being there. A lot of it too has to be with emotional conditioning, as far as like growing up in the church and everything's demonic, quote unquote. I see that a lot with people. You know, most of the people who are we've worked with a lot in the past, especially those who are of a Christian persuasion, had this tendency to be a lot more afraid of this stuff because automatically it's NATAZ.
Right. It's evil.
It's 100% every single time evil. All right, kids, go to your other room.
They can't get in anyway. Oh,
There's Steve.
Dad put up the fucking baby gate.
This one's interesting. This next one I'm going to play is a little bit different. I don't know. I 100% don't know. I'm going to try to make this bigger. Over here, it's going to be over here on this side. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not. But all right, here we go, guys.
My son is talking to ghosts.
What?
He just said the boy's in here. Since he's still a fetus, I really didn't understand what he meant until this happened.
Bro, right above you. What is that? On the wall.
I must be tripping because it seems like he doesn't even see it.
No, do you see that? What? Bro. What?
Yeah, it's a filter.
Yep.
It's 100% a filter. Now that I've actually sat down on a good screen and looked at it, that one's a filter, but it's still creepy to have handprints on them.
We're not in there with her.
I know.
I can guarantee you she's sitting on the couch, too.
No, she's at the hallway.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Well, she can deal.
Yeah, that one to me 100% looks it's faked.
Um, words.
Well, Brian's addicted to TikTok now. It's a more of a thing for me to be able to just something to do. So I'm flipping through stuff, and I like to look at what people claim is paranormal and actually pick it apart. That's actually one of my favorite things to do, because there's a lot of stuff. Heidi, room, couch.
Yeah, it's a big whooper, that's for sure. It's a big baby, is what it is. Spolt ass princess, more apt.
Hold on, just a minute. Come on.
They're in the way, Dad.
I'm just going to pee.
Okay.
And yell at the dog.
Okay.
Cool.
It was more. This stuff was more of just a discuss, see what's what, and what you all thought of this stuff, and more than anything. If I can stop.
Let's see.
And that's like next.
Right.
Okay.
Yep, Randy, it's our house horse. And yeah, Renee, that's pretty much what's up. We're either debunking or we're having fun with it. This is kind of getting you guys hopefully a little bit more accustomed to when we're going over shit. That way, if we miss something, you can catch it, or if it's bullshit and we get excited, you can curve us.
Yeah.
That's kind of how this is.
That's actually a pretty cool effect. Because it's catching the chroma key is catching the smoke, and the smoke is green coming off my cigarette. All right, so here's the next one. A little dancing light off of a security camera. I don't know if it's a bug.
It could be.
What do you all think on that one?
All right, kids, let's go to bed. Wait, you'll shut the fuck up. Go.
Anyway.
I agree, Jenny. I think it's either a bug or something. There was one that I saw. It was weird. I'm pretty sure it was a special effect that somebody did on a quote unquote CCT thing, but it looked like a spirit just descended down and then immediately shot the fuck back up.
Probably. It's probably a layered effect.
I'm not sure if it was an orb or not, Annette.
Orbs are very, very, very difficult to prove.
The general consensus is a bug. And I would agree.
These things are something cool to see, pretty much, But it's good that you guys are coming together and talking about it as a community, because that's the point.
Your expression, Steve, on that one was like, what the fuck?
What? Oh, the bug thing? Or I guess so. There are certain things that, whether I'm blind or not, are still bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if this one was another one there. claim was, well, it was while they were at work. However, it was too linear in direction as far as the pool.
So someone could have had a cable or a wire attached.
Fishing line.
That's usually what a lot of people use. Prop effects people will actually use a lot of wires, fishing line.
Because you can't catch fishing line on the camera, especially if it's grainy.
Yep. So you get a good handle on that thing and just jerk it, and it'll come straight your way. And that's just common, no CGI special effect.
Yeah, it's just what you would call a practical effect.
Yeah, they've used that for fucking years. Also, you can green screen yourself out as well. A lot of the floating cat videos and shit like that are done that way. People will green screen themselves out. So you got to kind of watch that. And Net had a comment of, there's so many filters, people can manipulate videos very easily now, and it's very, very true.
Kylie also said they didn't show the drawer opening. I 100% agree too. I didn't see the drawer open, and even if it did, I mean, I saw one. I was interested for like a second because a few things opened up, but everything went towards the door off camera.
Yeah. And see, that's something to really pay attention to, is if it's actual poltergeist activity, it's not going to have a specific direction that's going to move.
No. Every bit of the silverware that's being pulled out of the drawer was going in the same fucking direction, and that really went, nope, that one's not real.
Especially, like he said, especially if it's toward an open space, a doorway, a hallway, different things like that. And especially if it's off camera. If someone's, oh, look, here's my house, and then they're facing away from the spot where they just were, and shit starts flying their way, it's very, very difficult to really go, that's believable. Now, if you had that shit on a static cam, which is something that you put in place, and it is capable of doing things like night vision and mild infrared. If you have a static cam and it's sitting there and you go the fuck to bed and it's a continuous shot, then that becomes a little bit more plausible. But over a phone, no. No.
I don't know if this is another one.
So it's literally 3 in the afternoon, and it's been happening more during the day, and it's just not even scary. It's really just fucking annoying at this point, to be completely honest. I can't take this anymore. Fuck.
What do you think of that one? Thing not beating on his door, open the door, no one's there, looks down the stairs, no one's ran down the stairs, opens closet, nobody's in the closet. Right beside his door to his bedroom. And that one, yeah. Pizza delivery. Answer your question. Let me scoot back up. Some people believe there are old souls and new souls, and some people think there are only a number of souls. What do you think?
Yes. The answer literally is yes. I'm not trying to be a smartass. The answer is yes. Every human soul has existed before and has existed since time began. That particular soul will continue to exist until time ends. That's just how it is. The soul is an infinite thing. So, what you would consider as an old soul is a person who knows how many times that they've been around. They have the experience. They understand the way things work in ways that people really don't. They have a stronger knowledge of things that have passed. Whereas new souls are ones that are still trying to understand even their specific spot, their particular place. And we're not talking about the human condition of, well, I don't belong to this clique or that clique, so where do I go?
Mm-hmm.
We're actually talking about where you fit in to life's process. An old soul is somebody who's literally going to go, cool, life is what it is, let's get it. Whereas a new soul is literally going to have a panic attack when a feather falls on their ear. It's just that kind of thing. Every little change is something very, very new. You have to think about it kind of like a newborn baby. Every single sensation, every new vibration, every new experience that is outside of what they have been taught as normal is the biggest and greatest thing that has ever possibly happened. Which is a beautiful thing. It really is. Because a lot of old souls, myself included, you have a tendency to really forget those moments, because you've lived them. You understand it when it happens. Oh, well. And there's no real excitement to it, but you have the chance to live vicariously through new souls, gain a newer perspective over things. As far as a finite number of souls, how could you really say that? Every living thing, notice how I put that, every living thing, every single living thing has a soul.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it would not live. So, you can't really say that there's just so many to go around. It's not musical chairs. If it's an animal, if it's a plant, if it's a single-celled organism, if it is a human, if it's a Martian, if it's somebody from, some planet way the fuck off in a galaxy far, far the fuck away, it doesn't really matter. They have a soul. So hopefully that helped out. Hopefully that answered the question. Let's see. Tommy mentions that he's going to start filming for Sheila's Spirit, having strange, cool stuff going on, and send us the results. Please do, man. Please do. And, condolences. We do mean that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Harlan Kilman, thank you. That's a very clear and succinct way of describing soul experiences as new or old. And that's my way of actually explaining it. You ask many, many, many different metaphysicians what it is they believe. They're all going to tell you something different. And they're all going to have a different way of presenting it. But to me, that's the easiest way to understand it. There's a reason why a lot of people refer to me as granddad. Am I old enough to be one? Not physically. But I'm an old fucking man. That's just how that works out. So it's something to really think about. Because I actually freaked my mom out since I was born. My family's had the joke, he's been 90 years old since he's been 3.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, a lot of old souls have this tendency to give you things that you weren't expecting, but fit right into place. Things that you didn't really think you needed. They're the kind of people that just kind of pop in with this quip or this random little saying that they've always said, and it just catches you the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, oh, well, that fucking makes sense for this particular thing or that thing that's happening in my life. And even cooler thing is that a lot of new souls are drawn to older ones. Because the goal of the soul is to experience life for what it truly is. You know, that's the goal. There's no secret to life. The secret to life is to live life. Learn what you can, experience what you can. Because the soul itself is the divine's way of actually having a life of its own.
Mm-hmm. Do we believe, Kylie also asked, do we believe that time travelers are real?
Do you think... well, in a sense, yes. Now, do I think somebody has a machine somewhere in their fucking basement and can do the damn thing? No. However, multidimensional travel is an actual thing, and it's actually been proven that there is a universe that is parallel to ours. Science has actually proven that multiverse theory is no longer theory. So interdimensional travel is a thing, and if that's possible, then you could actually slip timelines as well.
Interestingly enough, is it can we go back in time, or is it a going forward in time? Because there is a huge difference.
Absolutely. Going back in time, all you have to do is do a regression for that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can literally embody yourself in a past life. Whereas going forward, technically you can do that as well.
Stay close to the near enough where you can get out of an event horizon of a black hole, you'll go forward in time.
Yep, you will see the future until you don't. No one's actually been able to
prove that, but that's the common theory.
Yeah, that's current. Because it goes into fucking deep space wormhole theory shit after that, and it just becomes deep dive. Let's see.
What decides at conception if it's a new or old soul? Kylie also asks.
It's not a conception. All souls are what it is that they are. Everything starts with a particular spark of life. That's what we refer to it as. That specific divine wusis that makes us live. It's what a soul is. So, as far as conception, that's not for us to know. We're not supposed to know how that particular thing is made. But at least as far as coming back, a new soul, in all honesty, may not exactly be young by our understanding of time. You may have several past lives that have come and gone. However, there are some old souls that have been around for fucking eons, past what we would understand. So it's that kind of thing. It's more about how many times you've been around the block as opposed to when.
And even in that case, time isn't exactly a thing as far as like you're talking of fourth dimensionally where time technically doesn't exist anyway. So which point did that soul, particularly quote unquote, using a video game term, spawn into this particular dimension? It might have been here since the beginning of creation, but it's choosing to have its experience in the third dimension now. But it's been alive forever. Literally forever.
Since the divine decided to pop itself into existence, all souls have existed. Let's see, Linda says, a toddler that sees and speaks to the deceased spirit and knows when they're present, is that just because they're fresh from the other side? Now, not necessarily. Some people subscribe to that because a newborn is so freshly, born, that they can still connect to where the soul used to be. whereas other people subscribe to uh, what is referred to as being fully awake. Not awoken. I fucking hate that shit.
Get woke!
Not awoken, not ascended. We're talking about fully awake. There is a period of dormancy that the soul actually takes. Yeah, it still does what it's supposed to do. It's here. However, it kind of forgets things, depending on how long it stayed on the other side. And it has to become reaccustomed to how things work on this side. Some souls are like, nah, fuck that. I'm going to remember everything because it was cool. And come back with that knowledge already in tow. So, you have those who are born awake. In other words, third eye is already open. They're able to see and experience spirits directly because there's no disconnect. Kate Hill says, "Hi fellas, be here now."
No idea what you're talking about.
Don't know about being here now. We are here now.
I am currently here right now.
If you're watching this, we're currently in your face right now. But we need context for that one. But hello. What do you believe is the divine? God, Source, Krishna, Buddha,
Everything, energy, great
nature,
source.
the cosmos, take a pick, it's all the same. It is a universal energy and consciousness. That's literally all it is. We're all comprised of it. We're all interconnected through it. The divine by any other name is still the divine presence.
Some people need human personifications in order to be able to actually understand it. And that's the reason why there are particular names or deities or things that we have to have in order to be able to connect. When it's all pretty much just the same thing anyway.
Kylie says it's childhood innocence as far as being able to children connecting.
Mm-hmm.
It is to a certain degree, and the biggest reason is they're not told that they're batshit, or that they're wrong, or that it doesn't exist, or that, there's no such thing. It's literally they are undiluted. So it plays a major factor in that.
Harlan Kilman says, "This is my first time and I'm absolutely loving this. I just wanted to know your names. This here is Steve, and I'm Brian."
So.
So?
What it is. What it ain't, and what it ought to be. Let's see. We're glad you're having a good time, Harlan. Seriously, though. And thanks for checking it out. We do this every Wednesday.
As best we can. I like stones and crystal. Kylie says, "I like stones and crystals and the metaphysics, but they don't make me feel comfortable like God does, even though I am not super in touch with my faith at the moment." These stones and crystals are just tools.
Seriously.
They're quote unquote, let's just be realistic, they're just mental triggers.
Yeah, focal tools.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing as using flashcards.
Mm-hmm. Or lighting a candle if you go to church for remembrance or a particular prayer.
Or rolling the rosary beads as you pray.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same difference.
Or the mala beads. The only difference is the method in which stuff is done. So let's just say, what is prayer? Prayer is asking God in order to do for something to happen, along with thank yous and gratitude. So, for me to do that same thing in metaphysics, I use stone. I need peace, or I need love, or love myself, or I need to help with addiction, or I need help with this thing. Each one of these things are a representation of a particular thought. Amethyst is a stone that helps with alcoholism. And if you believe enough, it'll help you with that alcoholism. It'll help you with the mental issues that caused the alcoholism. It's the same thing as prayer.
It's all intention.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally it. It's all intention. Some people feel comfortable actually sitting down and talking to God. Other people need a little bit of distance.
Mm-hmm. She is on a roll. Do you believe in? Kylie asks, do you believe in the law of attraction and that you can get anything you wish if you believe and act on it to the fullest?
The important thing to actually take from that is act.
Mm-hmm.
You can believe all you want that something's going to happen, but until you place the proper effort, all you're doing is sitting with your thumb in your ass. Let's just call it what it is. You have to actually work for it, but you have to believe you deserve it. And that's the important part of the law of attraction.
It is going to present things in your path that are going to allow you to be able to do that thing you're wanting to do. Say, I've heard this one 1,000 times as far as this particular example. I want a BMW that's a blue BMW. That is the car of my dreams, quote unquote. It's not. I don't like BMWs, but I'm just using it
Beamers are shit. Anyway.
I'm just using it as an example. All of a sudden, everywhere I go, I see that particular color of BMW.
I'm waving to Harlan. He just waved through the screen at us.
Okay, cool.
So I'm waving to Harlan.
I want this particular color BMW. I want that particular set of rims on this BMW. You're going to start seeing that around town. Not because they weren't there before, but because you're noticing that they are. The next part of it, and then the law of attraction, is how much are you willing to spend? I'm willing to spend X amount of money on that thing. I have worked to get this amount of money, and I wanted to buy it for this amount of money. You start looking through auto catalogs, and you start seeing that particular amount of money for that car. That's fair. You know, it's not something that, I'm going to get a $13,000 or a $20,000 car for $5,000.
No, that's not realistic.
But within your budget, this is how much I'm willing to spend on this thing. Well, you start looking through these things. You start clicking on websites. You'll eventually find that one, and it'll be perfect. It'll be that thing that you want. There won't be a lemon. All because you're putting the effort towards it. That's how the law of attraction works.
Yep. Setting intention and acting through it.
My grandfather's name is Harlan, by the way.
That's pretty neat,
actually.
But yeah, there's no way to trick the system.
Mm-mm.
That's not what the law of attraction does. What it does is it helps you set goals. Because pretty much what the law of attraction really does is shows you the proof that setting goals is worthwhile. This is what I will have, instead of this is what I want to have. I will have this for these things, with these stipulations, with this. I'm going to make sure to work towards it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've set in place. That's what I'm going to work towards. When I hit that particular point, everything will fall in place for it. And usually does.
It's like a river. Can't go outside. Once you set your intention and you set what you want and the direction that you're willing to go, the river starts to carve the way for you, and all you got to do is float.
Let's see. Kylie asked, do you believe in zodiacs? And are they accurate or real? If so, what's your zodiac? Or is it all bullshit? Actually, astrology is fairly accurate. Strangely enough. Now, is it 100%? Fuck no. You're charting out stars, and no, that's not going to be 100%. However, usually as far as personality and the way you actually present yourself in life, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
They are absolutely true.
elemental affinities that go with those too. The way those elements react within a person, as far as like their thought processes. Those things do work. Those things are a part of it. Um, I'm a air water. I'm a cuspy. I'm a Gemini and Cancer, mostly Cancer. So so I have the duality of a Gemini, but I have the intuition of a Cancer. Him's an Aries.
I am.
He is fucking an Aries. That's all I got to say about it. He's a goddamn Aries.
I am an Aries. I'm an Aries, and well, I'm an Aries, and then my moon is a Taurus, and then my ascending is a Virgo. So I'm a fire and a double Earth on top of it. So once I set my mind to it, guess what the fuck's gonna happen? Whatever I set my mind to. It's the Aries thing to push through, to not necessarily force others or anything, even though it comes across that way. It's more of a, you're either coming with me or I'm leaving you behind. I've got shit that I gotta get done. And because Aries is the ram, we're straightforward. We're either going through it,
We're gonna get a migraine.
or we're gonna get a migraine until we bust through it. Then the Taurus has the same issue. There's that stubborn stick-to-itiveness, but Tauruses are extremely protective as well.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody around me is like family. They're either my kid, they're my brother, they're my sister, they're my aunt, my uncle, whoever. But everybody around me is family that I give a shit about. And anything happens to them, I'm right there, and whatever it is face. But that's where a lot of my OCD comes from, is that clash. That need to progress and move and go, but I'm so worried about others falling behind that I don't.
Mm.
Then you have Virgo. Virgos are the assholes. Even worse than Aries. And the reason why is a Virgo is grounded in their emotions to the point of repressing them severely. So that's the reason why I come across really harsh, depending on what it is I'm talking about. Really stern, really harsh, really, fuck you and your opinion, this is how it is. And the biggest reason why is I'm having to repress myself at that point in order to get the thought across. So they're very accurate. They do the thing.
Going back up to Harlan Kilman's question, I collected a brick from my birthplace and plan to make brick dust. Any guidance on the actual practice, not smashing part, but the protection part?
What would you like from it? And this is a tip for anybody who's wanting to use brick dust, eggshell, black salt, because literally they all do similar things just in different ways. What do you want from it? Set your intention with it. This is what I want from this. I want this effect to happen because I'm using this type of dust. And then after that, it will have it. It's the reason why we tell people to make their own black salt if they have the ability. Once you do your smudging, you take the ashes from your smudge and mix it with sea salt.
Mm-hmm.
Not table, sea salt. Reason being is it's more natural. Once you do, you have black salt. That's literally how it's made. It's pure salt and altar ashes. But you can make it with smudge blend, because that's basically what altar ashes are. But the intention that's left in from the smudge goes straight into the salt. And when you lay it, it's a physical push for that. It's not just a metaphysical attention or a physical intention. It is literally just there. You don't have to feed black salt or brick dust or eggshell. You don't have to feed it. Like you do energy barriers, different things like that. Because they are what they are until they're vacuumed or swept up.
Answering your question, do certain zodiacs work? Well, apparently certain zodiacs work better in love and relationships than others. There are going to be difficulties. Regardless. Some say that Cancer and Pisces work really well together. There's a natural attraction because they're both water signs. Some say that two Aries will not work together because all they did was butt heads.
However, my wife and I have been together for 8 years.
Mm-hmm. And I was married to a Pisces. So it's one of those things you can take it with a grain of salt.
Because it depends on the person themselves and how willing they are to compromise, as opposed to it's quote-unquote fated that we're not going to work out. That's bullshit. There's no such thing as predestiny. So to go ahead and feed into that and condemn a situation is not really good.
Harlan says, thank you. The process seems to resonate with Inoki and style work for me.
Kick ass.
But I'm not intending that. Thanks for the choosing. Exactly. It's your choice. It's your working. There are things that I do or things that he does that are completely off the cuff. There are some things that are extremely specific.
It's practice specific, or it's, you know what?
This is the only way this was going to work. Ever.
Fuck me. Here we go. You know, and that's literally how you have to do it. Everything, and this is something important, whether it's spirituality, whether it's metaphysics, whether it's even mundane, that we're talking about, everything comes down to your choice. Specifically your choice.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing in your life will change, stay the same, get better, get worse without your allowance. Period. So what it is that you choose to do with your specific brand of metaphysical tool, whether it's dust or crystal or whatever, is what it's going to do for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how that works.
Like there's specific summoning rituals that we do very seldomly, but we do them, that require some specific ingredients.
And those actually do require specific things.
Ingredients. Specific asking, specific the way that you do it, specific sigils. They're specific to things that we have to do. Could I call them using the same thing? Yes, I can. Is it going to cause me a lot of physical pain? Yes, it is.
and that's the reason for it. The things that you're doing through process, as opposed to just feeling it out, are to prevent what we refer to as recoil. Basically, where you catch the backlash of what it is that you started.
Mm-hmm.
Going through set process puts things in the way. It filters things. It guides things. So that there's no chance of a fuck up. This is the end result. This is where we're starting. Once I tip the domino, it's headed that way.
It takes less energy, it takes less effort. Whereas doing it, quote unquote, manhandling it,
right?
Let's just call it for what it is. Could I call, like, I have a particular thing. If there's a particularly stubborn spirit in a home that does not want to leave.
Hey, Miss Carol.
Hey, they do not want to leave. There's a particular archangelic presence that I call for. I don't call for them to summon them into space. They'll send an envoy or whatever. But the calling of them, I can do that without the offering. That's what I call it. I just call it an offering. I can do that without the offering.
Pretty much what it is.
Yeah,
anyway.
I can do that without the offering. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot. It's going to hurt a lot.
The biggest reason is when you are working with a presence. Notice how we keep saying presence instead of the actual.
Mm-hmm.
When you're working with a presence, like that is so far beyond human vibration, it has to have a physical medium in order to be there. It has to have an anchor point. So if you offer up incense, it comes into what it is that you are burning and leaves and touches everything that the smoke touches. Whereas if you use your body, because that's basically what manhandling this shit does, you are taking on a very small but very significant portion of that presence for a very brief moment. And your muscles start to give out, your bones start to pop, your organs start to have issues.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot that can go down with that if you're not careful. Linda Slavin says, love the feeling after using my homemade black salt. Thank you for that, by the way. You're very welcome. You guys are always welcome.
We try our best. Well, they're getting into Leos and Sagittarius and
Fucking fire signs.
Capricorn and Sagittarius.
Metal. Metal works out really well. It's malleable.
Temper each other.
Yeah. It's malleable. You guys can adapt to each other. And once you find that specific spot that you'd like to be, you temper that shit to steel and it's unbreakable. That's a cool thing about some of that shit.
Add a little life to it. Well, carbon. But most things are carbon. The burnt essence of life.
The charred remains.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Man, y'all been talkative tonight. That's good shit.
Cool. Keep them coming. We're going to be here for a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll keep at it.
Fuck, we'll be at it as long as y'all want to be at it.
It's a nice balmy hot. Leo and Sagittarius, Keith said steamy. I'm like, it's balmy.
A Leo and a Sag, that's a double fire.
That's what I'm saying. It's balmy. It's fucking hot. Anyways, kind of that's where we stand on those particular things.
Oh, well, thank you. You're part of the reason why it turned out so well, Linda. She says, this is a great live conversation tonight. See what happens when the community acts like a community?
They start asking questions, they start talking, giving their experiences. That was the whole point of me doing the thing with the videos. Just get you all interacting. What do you think? I know some of these are bullshit, but what do you think? Why do you think they're bullshit? Why do you think they're real?
Keep them questions coming, guys. We'll keep answering. We'll talk through it. That's good stuff.
Oh God, my spine.
I'll go back on Monday, which ought to be interesting to see how this weekend goes. Let's see. Harlan says this does feel like a special moment, even above being my first time. Oh, wow. Glad we could, quote unquote, pop your cherry? And all jokes aside, we're glad that you're having fun and that you're getting something.
Well, that's our first one back since we've been back from Nebraska. Ugh.
Yeah.
It's our first one back. Ooh.
Well, y'all keep them coming. We'll sit here and start the bullshit if you're not careful. And who the hell knows where that's going to wind up going.
Oh, you guys seem to have reactions, Harlan, that seem refreshing to you as well. I mean, we like the interaction to be able to talk to you guys and be able to actually have the conversation as opposed to us trying to figure out, all right, what are we going to talk about now, Steve?
Because there's only so many stories that old granddad can tell. Let's see. Carol. Miss Carol says, had a weird experience at the local cemetery this evening while visiting family plots. My voice recorder refused to play back recordings with audio. The voice recorder worked fine when I got home. How odd. That's kind of neat. And a lot of times, especially if it's a family plot, the conversation that you may have had was not for anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So they intentionally went, no. You're the only one that's supposed to be here. We're here with you. Set the recorder down, leave it off.
Linda Slavin says, crazy. Have y'all ever heard a spirit calling someone and leaving a message? No. Now, there have been phenomena back when they were still answering machines, but I don't know much about that as far as like the ins and outs and how that works and all that jazz. Now, there was one, I don't know if it was a movie that I saw or an actual thing that happened. Oh, I can't remember. But they kept getting a phone call from. I think it was a movie. Never mind.
And to answer Renee, yes, the corn let us leave. We gave it a sacrifice of
Steve's stomach contents.
actually.
I'd like to re-record over recordings. Huh.
I haven't heard of that.
No, I haven't heard of that either. Might have to get a hold of one of our paranormal investigator friends who's been in it for a lot longer and ask their opinion of that.
Yeah.
Wes or Shane.
Either one.
Keith would probably know about that of a phenomenon that's like that. He's been doing it a minute too, so one of them might know. But I haven't heard of anything like that.
Let's see.
Send me the recording. Again, info@spiritmechanics.com. If you have the recording and you have it digital, send it to us. I'll be more than happy to listen to it and give my opinion. That's about the best I can give you on that.
That's pretty much it. You can go straight to the website. It's got a contact bit right there on the opening page.
Just do it through your thing, info@spiritmechanics.com. That way you can attach the file as opposed to going through the website because I think it's got its own form. I don't think we have anything in there that we can actually put a attachment for a file on the form. So it's info@spiritmechanics.com. Just get it in Missy. We'll filter it over to us. Or Steve can pull it up on his phone.
Either way.
Either way.
Well, if it's going to info, it's going to go straight to Missy. So
And she can forward it, CC it to us or something.
Because I just have the business. I don't have the manager's email. Because that ain't none of my fucking business. Even though it is my business. It's her business to make it my business. Oh. I stay the hell out of that otherwise.
Right.
It's a lot like work.
Trying to think. Any equipment to record overnight? Just get it with a voice recorder if that's what you want. You can buy those dime a dozen off of Amazon.
Yeah, just a digital recorder. You don't want to do analog.
Yeah. I mean, if you did do an analog, it's all right, but most of the time you're going to find digital from, like I said, Amazon. They're relatively inexpensive, you know. Well, for what they are, you can get them from as low as $20 all the way up to like 100 something. It just depends on what quality you're wanting to get as far as the actual device itself. And again, like I said, Keith just said, message him if you have any questions too. So I mean,
We've got plenty of paranormal investigators on tap. So
all I got to do is say, hey, somebody, we don't know the fuck this is. What do you think?
we'll take a look at it. We'll pass it to everybody we know that's, trustworthy, and we'll see what everybody gets as a general consensus.
The movie The Mothman Prophecies had a whole thing on with phone calls. That's probably where I got that from then.
And that was from Cassie Burnett. Let's see.
Hi, Cassie. You can use your phone too if you wanted to. Just make sure it's plugged up and off of, put it on like airplane mode so you won't be able to receive text messages. Because it turns off all the digital signals. That way you don't get that particular noise that some phones give when it's trying to find signal while it's trying to record.
Yeah, it basically cuts out all of the cross-contamination issues.
Mm-hmm.
Eases off the noise pollution.
Trying to think of anything else. Y'all have?
Linda says, I've always heard a phone recording was demonic.
Again, that's the first I've heard of that. And we've been doing that end of things for a bit. They don't usually deal like that. They don't like exposing themselves in that manner. Because what they're trying to do is much more sensitive to their situation. As opposed, they don't want to be found out with what they're doing.
So to out themselves on a phone, that's not really the norm.
I am trying to find a host. If I let everybody and their mother know that I'm finding a host, they're going to tell me to get the fuck out.
Or calling someone to take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
The local diocese will send somebody to fuck me up, and I would prefer that not to happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they like to work on the sly more than they...
Sorry.
More than they like to do much else. They work on influence, not by fear.
Yeah, get with Keith. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Now, most of the time, they're not going to try and send you a message through something. There was one case that we had where the guy thought for certain that the quote unquote Derman, and we use that term just to be derogatory to him, was blocking their phone calls. And the person was attention seeking by a lot. So that was the thought process. You know, the reason why they're blocking my phone calls and they're blocking this and they're doing that. They're blocking my text messages. You can only reach me through Messenger. No, that's not how that works. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
answering somebody.
Cool. So, all right, Harlan, you have a good one, man. You take it easy, okay?
Hope to see you again, bub.
We'll be back on here with bells on. We're probably going to have to end it here soon. It's 11 o'clock. And people got work tomorrow.
Yeah, we usually try to ease these off in about 2 hours, so here probably another 15, 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be bouncing. And I wonder, and I'm talking about my lighter.
Was it me? Caught it on camera. Well, the question stopped.
Y'all got us for
Wait.
y'all got us for about another 10 minutes tops. So if you guys have any last minute questions, and we'll stay on until we get them all answered. Promise.
Yep.
But if y'all got any last minute questions, topics, things that you want to bring up, please go ahead and do so. This is the last call.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like the FBI. What sounds like the FBI? Cassie Burnett said.
We need context.
Yeah, I need a little bit more than that. Gun.
I think this worked out pretty good.
Yeah. I can refine it a little bit and try to make it look a little bit better for here. I mean, if you all could see what we're looking at right now.
Oh, it's Lord. We have all kinds of shit just right in front of us trying to make this work out. But it seems to be working out.
Awesome. Carolyn said, "Thanks again for your classes. I have used techniques to try and help struggling student. A little success to report, and it's good to see."
Awesome. That's good stuff. Just remember, when everything just seems to be moving slow and it doesn't seem to be having a big impact, is probably the time that it's having the most. Because usually at that point, it's us projecting because we're not seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
So stick with it. You're doing great.
Some people try too hard.
We all try too hard at some point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's just the way you learn. Square peg, round hole. Square peg, round hole. Square peg, round hole.
Hammer.
Fuck. Broke it. Try again. Round peg, square hole. Round peg, square hole. Round peg, square hole. Hammer.
Cassie Brennan. Okay, sounds like the FBI phone calls being blocked. No, it was a person. That particular situation was a person who was being paranoid, way too paranoid for the actual situation that was going on. They wanted to believe they didn't have mental illness issues, and they do. And they were being paranoid about their messages being blocked, or their phone calls weren't going through, but the phone calls were going through.
Text messages, phone calls, everything was going through, but yet they weren't. So yeah. And that's the other thing, too. You have to take paranormal activity with a grain of salt until it's proven. And unfortunately, and this is me just being honest, this isn't me trying to be mean to anybody. Until it's proven, it's hearsay. And the reason why I'm bringing it up that way is some things are actual paranormal activity, whereas other things are stress-induced hallucination. Side effects of medication, side effects from EMF poisoning, could be natural occurrences. You know, there's a lot of things that are actual mundane factors that can actually cause certain things to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, without video, without audio, without eyewitness testimony, it's very difficult to go, it's 100%. And a lot of times, people will want things to be there that aren't there. And it creates what we refer to as a thought form. Thought forms are very real. They are very real to the person. They only affect one person in the household. They only, quote unquote, attack that person. They only cause issues with that person. Because that person wants to blame the situation on something other than what it actually is. It literally is someone haunting themselves.
You all got to realize too that we receive thousands of requests, and there's a lot of them that's mental health issues. There's a lot of them that are circumstantial. That's the reason why we book out the ones, and we have the process that we have, and we've explained the process a couple hundred dozen times. We ask the questions that we ask because these are the questions that we know work. These are the questions that we know are present with the specific things that we're looking for when it comes to paranormal activity. That's not to say that your experience is any less valid, because you're still experiencing something.
Absolutely.
Even if it is mental health, it's still an experience. And we tried our best in order to be able to facilitate that in a different way. And to allow, all right, this is what this is, and we give recommendation. That's not to say that what you're going through is fake. Because in your head, it makes it real.
Absolutely.
Because when I first started into this stuff, everything that bumped in the night was something metaphysical. I don't know how many times that I had called this man.
That's the reason for the joke. You'll hear us say it a lot of times, just randomly. It's just a wraith.
Mm-hmm.
He called me once. I'm not going to go into detail, but he called me once, and it was like the middle of the damn night. You know, I saw this thing. You know, it looked like this, and all this stuff's going on. Is it this? Is it this? It's just a wraith, man. What?
That was Jay.
Was it?
It was Jay.
That was Jay.
That was Jay.
That. It's just a wraith, man.
Yeah.
It's just a wraith. It's fine. What? It's just a wraith. Chill. The fuck is a wraith?
Hold on a minute. Close your third eye.
That's a wraith. Oh, that's it? That's it. Oh, goes back to bed. I mean, and it's that kind of thing. And Linda mentioned, when we were going on and on about the square peg and the round peg, that people are just new to this particular thing. And that's true.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest thing that will help you out in learning metaphysics and getting into the paranormal is to be a fucking skeptic.
Mm-hmm.
That will be the biggest thing that will help you experience it to the fullest. The reason why is because when logic and mundane are off the fucking table, what you're left with is legitimate paranormal activity. It can't be disproven at that point because you've taken the steps. Mental illness is taken off the table because you've taken the steps. So what you're left with is actual spiritual activity.
Yep. Do you believe in soulmates? Absolutely, 100%. But not in the way that people have romanticized it.
Fuck, he and I are soulmates.
Me and Tiff are soulmates. Him and Tiff are soulmates. Most of the people in spirit mechanics are soulmates in one form or fashion. The romanticized version of it is only an aspect. It's a particular facet.
It's a possibility.
Yeah.
It's just a possibility. It's soul-to-soul connection.
Mm-hmm.
Like attracts like. And a lot of times soulmates are just people that knew each other before.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. My past life knows your past life. That's fucking cool. Want to be friends? Yeah, awesome.
Kylie also asks, what is a wraith?
A wraith is a progression from a human spirit into something that is no longer human.
Mm-hmm.
That's the long and short of it.
The blunt explanation.
You have the human spirit, which we refer to as earthbounds. Basically, they are the ones who are here that are here. They haven't crossed yet. This progression goes into lost soul. It's where the soul starts to become confused as to why it hasn't crossed, or starts to understand that it's dead, but doesn't understand the consequences of that. Then it moves into vengeful spirit, which is actually, even though it's mentioned as a vengeful spirit, it's almost like dementia. The human side of the spirit starts to lose itself. And there's moments where it will be lucid and able to talk and be around and experience and be 100% them. And then there's times where they lash out because they don't understand. They're literally losing their mind. And from vengeful, you have wraith. Wraiths are an offshoot. You either have vengefuls that choose a very direct path, which becomes something completely different, and then you have the ones that just give in to those baser, more primal instincts and become a wraith. A wraith is basically a human spirit that has lost its humanity.
Mm-hmm. I know you're not a psychotherapist. I'm looking into therapy, haha. But this is Kylie also. But do you know what causes dark intrusive thoughts? Your brain.
Truth.
Most people who have depression, ADHD, OCD, who have mental illness have self-talk. The brain speaks. Usually 9 times out of 10, it was something that somebody said to you from a long time ago, and it's been said so often in your head that you believe that it's yours. How do I know? I have intrusive thoughts. I have ADHD. He has OCD. So the brain starts to talk.
It's an internal monologue.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, it's a monologue, and that's what I meant to actually say, because I thought I said the other word. I thought I said dialogue, but it is a monologue because you're actually speaking to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when you have these intrusive thoughts, it becomes a dialogue. And the biggest problem there is you are speaking to a memory. You are speaking to a situation that you are no longer involved in. That's the reason why a lot of psychotherapists will work through repression first before they work on the current symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody gets all pissed off and, starts to bucket when they're like, hey, let me ask about your childhood. But what they're actually doing is they're working from the root cause forward.
Mm-hmm. And no, we're not psychotherapists. The biggest thing, the best that we can be claimed as is counseling and counselors.
Right.
We've both been doing counseling for
Years.
Years and years and years and years and years. Let's see, since I was 19. I've been doing counseling since I was 19, so almost 20 years.
Yeah, about the same. Give or take, about the same. About 20 years.
How to shut the brain off. Want to...
What?
Kylie asked how to shut the brain off. Want to take the logical thinking at first instead of the emotional when making decisions.
That one, truthfully, that's something that you need to talk to your therapist on.
Yep.
I mean, we can give you exercises, but your therapist really needs to figure out what the cause of that is.
Yep.
Because usually when you are an emotional thinker first as opposed to a logical thinker first, it's because you are having fight or flight symptoms more often than not.
Mm-hmm. And Linda Slavin says those internal dialogues are concerning. If you understand what they are, they're not as concerning. That's the biggest reason why I was trying to explain it. I have thoughts all the time. I have intrusive thoughts all the time. I have random thoughts all the time. It's just the way that my brain processes information. And it's going to try to go through past experiences in order to create a decision in the moment.
Yay, PTSD.
Yep.
Because that's legitimately what that is.
Yep.
Seriously, y'all, that's legit what it is. When you try to make sense of a current circumstance based off of things that have happened to you before.
Yep.
Because there's one thing to call in life experience. Well, this happened, and this is what I learned from it. Whereas a lot of people forget that second step.
Well, this is what happened. Fuck that thing.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's that knee-jerk reaction, because when you start to think about that experience, fight or flight kicks in. You forget the fact that you made it through. You forget the fact that you learned something. You grew from it. And you basically revert back to who you were at that particular point in time until you're able to calm yourself.
Kylie asks, what if you don't remember your childhood? That's, again, we're talking about repression.
Yeah.
And there's multiple techniques that they can go through with you to be able to help with actual repression or disassociation. That's a big one, too. What it sounds like as opposed to repression. Disassociation blocks off particular memories. And once you start talking or getting a conversation going, 9 times out of 10, if the therapist knows what the hell they're doing, it'll click one particular thought process.
Cassie says she does never slow down, or shut down, excuse me. My brain goes all the time.
Welcome to ADHD. Hi. Yeah, and Jenny Tubb said that might be a symptom of a mental illness, and it is.
Yeah.
100%. That's the reason why we're recommending to go to therapy. Go to somebody who is fully trained. There's some things that we can do as far as our coping mechanisms and the things that we've learned through our experiences. But to actually get some solid growth and progress when it comes to mental illness, it's probably best to go to somebody who is a trained psychiatrist, psychotherapist, therapist. Have you ever tried Yeah, we've done meditation. Have you tried meditation or float therapy? It's from Kylie. I've done meditation, float therapy, not so much.
For me, and this is my character flaw, I don't like doing float meditation. And the biggest reason why is I'm not in motion. And like I said, it's character flaw. It's one of those particular sides of my mental illness. It's the OCD. There's shit to do. There's things I need to be doing. There's places I could be. Why am I just laying here? Can't I can't do float and actually do the thing. Whereas meditation, I'm actually doing something. There is a process to it. I'm actually going, doing, seeing, talking to somebody. There's something. So I'm actually making progress as opposed to sitting still. But that's just the way my head works.
Annette says everyone has a touch of mental illness / PTSD. There are actually normal people out there.
There sure are.
that don't have those things. What was it? It was there was a thing where they were talking about actually the internal dialogue. They were talking about internal dialogue, and there was a group of the population. It was about 50-50, 55-45, somewhere around that ballpark. That they don't have an internal monologue. They don't understand what that means.
Why would you ever talk to yourself? Like, literally. Because I remember you talking about that, and I looked up. There are actually YouTube videos on that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see people literally react that way. Why would you ever talk to yourself? There's other people to talk to. Why would you ever talk to yourself? It doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm. And that's not because they have a stellar mental health. It's just they don't have the internal dialogue. It doesn't exist for them.
Because the internal monologue is natural.
Mm-hmm.
You're literally thinking things through in your head and talking them out without looking like a crazy person in public. Same deal of the whole bit of, did I take the trash to the curb, or, I need these particular things at the grocery store, and you're driving or you're talking to someone on the phone or you're texting, whatever the hell it is that you're doing, you're not saying that out loud. That's a monologue.
Mm-hmm.
You're literally just speaking.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people understand that. They just don't understand the second person living inside your head.
Mm-hmm. And personally, from my experience, it's memories and things like that, particular voices of particular people that have integrated to a point where it sounds like my voice. I mean, it's not. When you have to tell your head to shut up, that's not a monologue anymore.
That, in particular, when you start saying things like, I wish these thoughts would stop, that's no longer a monologue. There's way too much going on inside my head. I can't shut it down. That's not a monologue.
Good night, Jenny. A float meditation is depending on. There are places that you can go that's basically like a Epsom salt bath. Basically, they do a high concentration of Epsom salt, and then they just float you in a sensory thing and allow you to do the meditation in there. Your higher self and guides can sound like your voice on voice too. Yeah, well, they're a lot quieter.
They don't speak as loudly.
Mm-mm.
They're very faint and in the background. They're the whispering thought that comes to you at like 3 a.m. of that thing that you needed to remember.
Hey, this thing.
The fuck? Thanks, brain. And that's usually how it works, thanks, brain. And it's not necessarily your brain at that point. Because the idea is a guide is actually supposed to lead you towards the point you need to be, but not actually take you there. So, what's the most actually dynamic but basic way to get anybody to do anything? Make it believe that it's their idea. I'm going to use your voice. That way you will actually listen to me. You won't be able to push me out. You won't be able to say it's something else because it's your thought, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here, have the thing. God's pretty slick that way. But yeah, as far as float therapy, I've heard that Davis, a member of the team, Davis and his wife,
Mm-hmm.
they do they've been to ISO chambers, and they're float tanks, they're float therapy. So I mean, he loved it. He loved it. Said it was cool. Did the thing. She loved it. Did the thing. It worked out for her. A lot of people swear by it. So, I mean, if you have the time, you can afford it, go give it a shot.
Mm-hmm. Do you believe dreams have hidden meanings? For example, a random horse means something specific. Yeah. Your brain There are two. To me, there are two different types of dreams. Technically, three.
Technically.
But there are two different types of dreams. There is the processing part of your brain trying to process information. I am sorting information from the day. That's where you get the random fucking horse that is going across the field for some unknown reason, and you're standing in a thing of pudding.
None of these things make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So how'd your day go? And if you go to a psychotherapist or even a someone who's into dream analysis, they'll ask you that. How's your day-to-day life? Reason being is a lot of times when dreams make no fucking sense, it's because we think that life makes no fucking sense.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are standing in this bowl of pudding, barely able to move and wondering what we're doing while this horse is running free. Why can't I be like those people that are able to have the job they want, drive the car they want, do the things they want? Why can't I be that? Why am I stuck here in this rut?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
That's not an actual dream I've had, but it's just an example. Right. Or you're in quicksand, or you're got your feet tied. These are all just different symbolisms for the same damn thing.
I'm trapped.
Mm-hmm.
I can't find a way out. A lot of times, people find themselves locked in rooms or different things like that, and that's pretty much what that is.
Explain to me why George Clooney eggs in my mother's kitchen. I don't know.
But that's pretty hilarious.
Yeah. George Clooney from where he originally was from is down the road from us, about an hour.
Yep.
Recurring dreams you haven't seen in reality. It depends on how many times you've had that dream.
Yep.
It changes. Because sometimes you can have prophetic. There's been times where I've like, he sit and watch me do it. Well, I've been here and I've done this, and we were literally doing this thing. This song was actually playing, and I'm going through everything that I remember from a dream because I'm literally sitting on the porch in a specific way when a specific song came on, and he's standing a specific way, holding a cigarette in that hand. So you can't have prophetic dreams.
Oh, absolutely.
And then there's lucid ones. Those are fun.
But that's technically it's a form of meditation.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, lucid dreaming is pretty fun. It's when you actually understand what your brain is trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you go, nah, I'd rather do this instead.
Or astral travel while you sleep.
A lot of people do that shit.
Mm-hmm. What about, do you notice their faces? I've had those, and then their faces are blacked out to me. I don't know who these people are, but I've never seen their face either.
People he hasn't met yet.
Mm-hmm.
And usually the reason why the face is blacked out is because choices can dictate whether or not you ever do.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something set in stone. It's a possibility. But if you've seen their face and you've never met them before, pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
There's a good possibility that you'll run into them.
Yeah, she sees their faces and everything, just don't know them.
Yeah.
There might be the potential that you'll run into them before. Or your brain will remember a face faster than just by watching TV, just by watching an internet video with somebody talking. There's the potential for your brain to transpose that person's features into the dream too. So there is that.
It's part of the reason why they tell you not to watch TV before you go to bed or leave it on while you're sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Is because that shit will cross over. Because you don't sleep 100% consistent throughout the night. There are sine waves that go.
Mm-hmm.
When you hit peaks, you start to wake up. When you hit valleys, you're fucking slept. So, the idea is to ride that medium line. Those that have insomnia stay peaked. They don't hit REM very often, so they don't really dream. All they can do is really rest. Some people hit valleys, they dream often, and they're able to actually sleep, and usually do so for prolonged periods of time.
Mm-hmm. Usually you have 3 sleep cycles a night, and this is what an average normal person with normal sleep behaviors have. You have the high end, and then it dips down, and then there's that 20-minute period right before you go into deep sleep. When you go into right before you go into deep sleep is when dreams happen. Because when you go into deep sleep, it's black. And then when you're coming back up, you have another dream. Usually you have anywhere between 3 to 6 dreams a night, typically. Who? That's Dustin.
What are you guys doing?
No, that's one of the boys' groups.
Oh, okay. You guys doing anything?
Cassie said I had one dream I would have over and over again. It had stopped for a long time, then I had it for a few days, and then gone again. Did it ever come true? Or was it just something that you were dealing with, and as far as your subconscious?
God damn it! Shut up! Whoop! Oh. Because that's
Recurring dreams of vampires that makes me think they're real. That's people are life sucking from you. People are draining you, taking things from you. That's the interpretation of vampires and dreams.
pretty much. Unless you go Freud's route, which I usually don't.
Why does hypnosis not work on me? No idea. I don't know your brain.
It requires a certain brain pattern in order to actually work. And the other thing is that you have to believe that hypnosis will work before it will.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be right there. There's a reason why the therapist speaks the way they do and says the things they do. It's to get you into a certain headspace. Whereas if you're not trusting in the therapist or the person trying to do the thing, or if you are honestly too high strung, or if you have too many hyperactive thoughts, the chances of actually being hypnotized are very, 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 very slim.
I can put myself in a trance state, but as far as like hypnosis, it's hard to actually hypnotize. My brain does not shut off. And that says, "Stop watching True Blood."
But down.
Ba-bam-gum. You walked in the air and out. All right, guys. It is 11:40.
We are the fuck off here. But be looking forward to, if you are a member of the Patreon, be looking forward to some Friday content. But if you would like to join said Patreon, we will be posting the link here very, very shortly, if not tomorrow.
Definitely tomorrow. I gotta get it from Tiff. Hi, Bub.
And yeah. So yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you guys for being here and doing the thing. Thanks for the questions. Appreciate it. We'll be back and doing this again next Wednesday.
Y'all be good to yourselves. Love each other. We'll see you.